You are now entering the world of Musings of a Geek podcast network. Stay geeky, my friends.
Geek Speak, the definitive 365 cut. These are the meaningless ramblings of a Scottish redone whore and a pissy ex-video store clerk. Their ongoing mission is to set right the movie wrongs. They're gonna need a bigger podcast.
Welcome to episode 9 of the 365 podcast. Coming soon, episode 10. Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought?
And we've got something special planned and everything. We don't know what it is yet, but it's in research and development mode. So episode 9, we're going to be doing our regular 365 news roundup. Not as much to talk about as last time, but hey ho. Then after that, I'm going to be doing my review of Biodome, which Kev very kindly recommended to me.
Well, it's the new section for the podcast, isn't it?
It
may take off, it may not, depending on how badly you go.
Yeah, we'll come to that shortly. And then after that, we're going to be doing a roundup of The Walking Dead, season 5. Was it 5?
Yes.
Yeah. And then what we want to see from Game of Thrones season 5.
Wow.
So there you go. Mm-hmm.
That was a very well done intro, Chris. I'll give you that. However, it wasn't quite in the right order, but we'll deal with that.
Be fine.
Be fine. Nobody cares. So as you said, we always start with the news roundup. That's the way we are now, because everybody wants to know what the fuck's happening out there.
We're all about the news.
I'll let you bring us the first bit of news. Have you seen anything that's really kind of grabbed you by the balls? And
Okay, so I've got a couple of things. The one biggie that I saw earlier on today is that Adam West and Burt Ward are going to be voicing Batman and Robin again.
Yeah, fuck.
For an animated movie that's going to mark the 50th anniversary next year of the Batman movie.
I actually read that the other day, and you know what it is? I completely forgot about it. That's proper worth mentioning.
I think so, yeah.
I think it's a great idea. It's good to see that they're getting them back, you know, keeping them involved.
To be honest, I didn't know if Burt Ward was still alive or not. I hadn't really thought about it in a while. But yeah, I'm happy to see them do that. I'll watch that.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch that. I'll give that a watch, because, you know, I do hope, though, if they're going to do another Batman like animated movie, I would like to know if Mark Hamill's going to be jumping in as the Joker, because he seems to have washed his hands of that now, hasn't he? Is he not saying that the game's the last one he's doing?
Was it the Arkham trilogy that he's doing the Joker?
Yeah.
But then we don't know yet, is the Joker going to be in Arkham Knight? If it ever actually gets released, because it's been delayed again till the end of June now, so... Yeah,
I was having a little bit of rant I think it was yesterday, because it came up on my Facebook page, and it was like, they're releasing a limited edition Batman PS4 for when Arkham Knight comes out, and I was literally sat there like, yeah, if the game ever fucking comes out. I was like, nobody's gonna hold their breath pre-ordering that now, are they?
You know, I mean, it's kind of like another stick of truth, where it just keeps on getting put back.
Yeah, we'll get it though. We will get it. We'll have to, because it's looking shit hot. Well, while we're on the Batman thing, one bit of news I saw. In fact, there's quite a few bits for this. Suicide Squad, the cast for Suicide Squad just seems to be growing again.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Do you not see that it's very much becoming the villain version of like Batman: Dawn of Justice?
So is it the Killer Croc thing that you've...
Yeah, Mr. Echo from Lost. I'm not even going to bother trying to say his proper name.
Yeah, you know what? When I made the note earlier on, I sort of read the name and I thought, nah, I'm not even going to try that, because I'll probably come off as racist or something.
I realise his first name's like Adewale something, and the rest I'm just not even going to... I'm not going to embarrass myself.
Is it the guy who played the villain in Serenity?
No, that was
No.
Chitwell Ejiofor. The English one. Nah, I
don't know who that guy is.
He was also in he played a small part in Dark Knight, you know, when Heath Ledger does the tryouts. but and snaps them.
Oh yeah.
He's one of them, but he's only in it for like a split second. But yeah, he's gonna play Killer Croc in the Suicide Squad. You've also Clint Eastwood's son is going to play a Wonder Woman related role in Suicide Squad.
So we're gonna get cross dressing now.
No. He's going to be like a person from the Wonder Woman. One thing I did see though, have you seen this thing about Jared Leto during the 30 Seconds of Mars concert? Have you seen this yet?
I read a headline that he'd done a Joker voice or something.
Yeah, it's like
Is that what you're on about?
It's like a 30-second clip where he shouts at some woman in the crowd, "I'm gonna fucking kill you," but he's doing it in like his Joker voice.
All right.
And if I'm totally honest with you, I'm massively on the fence with it. Like,
I don't really want to hear it.
Yeah. Why is he doing that?
I want to see a picture of him first, like what they've done with Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, that picture.
I want to see a picture of how they're going to have him as the Joker, because I assume he's going to be in Batman vs Superman, because every fucker else is. So I assume the Joker's going to be in there somewhere.
Well, I think it's very much becoming that if you're not in Batman vs Superman, don't worry, you've got a part in Suicide Squad.
Well, I read that The Rock now is rumoured to be in Batman vs Superman. What is he playing? Black Adam?
The Rock?
Yeah.
Really?
I read that earlier. But you see, it's fucking April Fool's Day, so that might be bullshit. Because I read a dose of stuff today. We had a trailer for the new Back to the Future film with Vin Diesel in it, which, by the way, did actually look awesome. I didn't actually think it was genuine, I will point out, not like the bloody Robert Pattinson thing. But we had that. We had the Robert Pattinson as Negan.
Yeah, Negan from Walking Dead.
We had... we had the Batman vs Superman was just going to be named Batman.
Dawn of Batman.
Batman, Dawn of Justice. And so I've stopped looking at Facebook since earlier on because it was getting on my nerves.
Yeah, it was getting.
And then there was a Spider-Man one as well where
the young lads.
Where Sony is the thing of the article started off that him out of Maze Runner had been cast officially, and the sort of headline was, even though it's April Fool's Day, this is genuine. So I clicked on it, and then Sony had a whole list of movies up till 2023 of Miles Morales called Black Superman, Black Spider-Man, and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I stopped looking at Facebook after that.
One I did see this morning, straight away, first thing this morning. And I read it and I thought, oh, please don't let that be an April Fool's. And I put it on the Facebook page for the podcast. It was about Stephen Amell from Arrow has signed on to do Turtles 2.
Yeah, I read that as well.
As Casey Jones, but apparently
who the hell is Casey Jones? I don't know who Casey Jones is.
Casey Jones is like the hockey playing boyfriend of like April O'Neil.
Right.
In the first movie he was played by Elias Koteas, and he was like he's just like this street punk who's a bit like Raph. Like he's like a vigilante, and people's doing horrible shit, and Casey Jones knocks them out, kind of thing. And Casey Jones cool as fuck. Like,
I want to see Stephen Amell doing more. I think he's class. So
I want to see Stephen Amell doing a lot
more.
I was still kind of holding out for him to be signed into the DC universe. You know, I'd like to see him in the cinematic universe and the TV.
Yeah, they've not mentioned Green Arrow in the DC universe.
Not yet, no.
It'll not happen. They're keeping the whole thing separate, so it's not going to happen.
He's the one out of all of the TV stuff. He is the one that I would like to see crossover.
Oh, that was another one. That I read. Another April Fool's was that Tom Welling was going to be playing Superman in the Supergirl series. And I actually thought, that's fucking class. I want to see that. And then...
See, though, I've been saying that for months.
But it was an April Fool.
I've been saying all along, if they're going to have Superman and Supergirl, it has to be Tom Welling, because why not? Yeah, so I had the Stephen Amell. I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that. But apparently that is definitely going to happen. What about the whole Constantine? Constantine's apparently in big trouble.
Yeah, I've not actually watched it yet. Is it on Netflix or is it on Amazon Prime?
I think it's just on normal, like Sky TV, It's like NBC or something like. Yeah.
Is it? Oh, shit, I didn't know that. I thought it was on one of those things.
Apparently there was rumours that it was going to be moving to sci-fi for the second series,
Right.
which I think would have been good
It's not
for
gone
it.
over well, apparently, though, I've read.
I think it would have been good had it went to sci-fi, because you can do things on sci-fi you can't do on other channels, you know. It can be out there and stupid and cheap as fuck and
Yeah.
still be good.
That's the thing. I watch, I think we've talked about this before, a show called Continuum, and it's really good. You know, it's a sci-fi show, but it's really good. It's all time-travel-y, alternate universe-y.
I started watching that way back in the day. I started watching that like when it first started, and I never got past. I think it was like the 5th or 6th episode.
It was like a lot of shows where it didn't really hit its stride until towards the end of the first series. But I enjoy it. It's on its 3rd series now, and I hope it keeps on going.
Yeah, it looks quite good. It does look quite good. So Fear the Walking Dead.
Fear the Walking Dead. I've seen the teaser.
Yeah.
Well,
It's not much
give
of
you
anything,
much
is it?
information.
No.
You know what? I love that idea of it having absolutely nothing to do with the main show, other than the zombies, obviously,
Yeah.
or the walkers. We don't call them zombies. That's racist.
Apparently, yeah.
I'm completely on board with that. I'm willing to give that a go.
Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it. I mean, I'm a little bit pissed off that the first series has only been 6 episodes. I don't know why they're doing
Wasn't
that.
the first series of The Walking Dead short though? Because they expected it to bomb.
Well, exactly. They had no idea how it was going to go, so they made 6 episodes. They know this is going to take off.
I'm sure I read that the finale of season 5 got like 15 million viewers or something like that in the States.
Yeah, it was like the highest viewings they've ever had for a finale.
Yeah, so you can pretty much guarantee the spin-off is going to get, at least bloody 75-80% of those viewers watching it.
Well, this is the thing that kind of annoyed me. I'm sat there and I'm looking at those viewing figures and I'm like, so why 6 episodes? And if you're going to do 6 episodes for your first series, why commit yourself to a second series straight away?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it probably makes some sense to someone somewhere. But
my feeling on that was maybe they just thought to themselves, yeah, we messed up by doing a 6 episode series the first time round. Let's just pretend we did it on purpose.
Yeah, maybe. Or it's like sort of like a sort of superstition kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe, aye.
That could be, it could be bloody something like that. So we've got, I said to Steve the other day, Idris Elba is apparently going to be playing the main villain in Star Trek 3. So I did actually read a thing earlier on. It might be bullshit, I don't know, that he's most likely to be playing a Klingon.
Well, yeah.
We've said careful. Be very, very careful here.
I'm being careful.
We said before that we wanted to see a Klingon versus Federation war. Wipe that smirk off your face. We've said before that we wanted to see a Klingon versus Federation war. So we needed a good Klingon baddie. I like Idris Elba. I think he's a cracking actor. I don't want to see him as James Bond.
No.
If truth be told, I think he's too old.
Yeah.
I think because I'm sure I read or watched that by the time Daniel Craig is signed up for 2 more movies.
Right.
So by the time you get Daniel Craig out the way, Idris Elba is going to be like sort of late 40s.
He's going to be doing like the Mandela sequel or something.
So Mandela Strikes Back.
Yeah. That's a good name for a Mandela movie.
It is, huh?
You put me in prison, I come after you. Wow.
Okay then.
So moving on.
No more chocolate milkshake for you.
I know we did the Arrow stuff before, but there's been more cast news for the new spin-off. The what they're calling.
Is it Supergirl, or is it the?
No, the other one.
Other one.
They don't have a name for it yet, and I was sitting on a website and I was reading about it, and the working title that these people have for it, not the people who are making it, but the people who are talking about the cast, and the working title, they had #Flarrow, because it's a Flash and Arrow spin-off, so Flarrow, and I was kind of just sat there like, my Christ. There's people.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a huge fan of those 2 shows, Arrow and Flash. As you know, I'm absolutely loving both of them. If they call it that, I'm not watching on sheer principle.
It ain't going to be called that.
That is ridiculous.
It's not going to be called that. It's just what these people are calling it. But one guy, I mean, I don't watch Doctor Who, so it might please you, but Arthur Darvill is going to be in it.
Oh, yeah, I read that today.
He's going to be in it. And you got some Broadway stars, Ciara Renee playing Hawk Girl.
I can are fine.
But it wasn't so much that, it was the other cast who've already been confirmed. You've got the likes of Brandon Routh is moving into that.
Yeah.
I'm like that. You've got Wentworth Miller.
You know what? I watched the episode of Flash early on today where he's come back, and so is what's his name? The other one.
Yeah, aye, Link.
Aye. And their sister, what has got the gold gun? I loved that.
The
that
Golden
was awesome.
Glider. Yeah,
I'm loving those three. I am. I think they're great.
I'd like to see more of that, and it doesn't say anything about her character going into this other show, but I'd like to see her go into the other show. Because you're taking the two of them through. You've got Victor Garber, which is one half of Firestorm. A little bit worried about why the other guy's not been cast in it yet. Robbie Amell, Stephen Amell's brother.
I thought he had.
Well, apparently he's not been cast in it yet, and there's a big...
Right.
They must have asked the producers of Flash why that was, and he must have turned around and said, we can't say. I saw a trailer this morning. I'm not going to say any more after this, but I saw a trailer this morning that maybe explained it.
No spoilers, because I'm behind you.
The other one, though, is Katie Lotz. She hasn't...
I don't know who that is.
There's no confirmation as to... Well, she played the original Black Canary in Arrow.
Thingy's sister.
Yeah. So either
she's dead?
Either she's playing a brand new character, which I'm not buying, or they're going to bring her back from the dead.
Lazarus Pit.
DC's answer to everything. But yeah, I read that. I'm quite excited about that show. I would like to see a name and I would like to see a trailer, but I'm you know what it is? Like you say, Flash and Arrow are that good. Give them the benefit. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it, but not if it's called Flarrow. I refuse. I'm an awkward bastard with that kind of thing, Kev. As you know, I'm not watching it if it's called that. And you know what? I'm actually getting more and more excited for the Supergirl.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
series
Supergirl
as well. I want to see what they're going to do with it.
We talked about that on the last episode about in the news roundup about some of the people I was going to be in it, and yeah, I'm psyched for that. I am psyched for that. Again, I'd like to see something for it, but you know what it is? The production crew on those two shows, Flash and Arrow, they're that good at turning around a pilot for a TV show, you know, quick as anything. We'll get to see it soon. So
I did read the other day that they've finished filming it.
Well, there you go.
So it's obviously just adding effects and all that stuff.
The fly bits.
So the fly bits, which you would assume there are loads of them.
Maybe not. Superman Smallville, he didn't fly for fucking...
That's very true. That for about 30 seconds of the last episode of season 10.
Wow. I've been watching that long.
Yeah. Aye, so next bit of news. You're going to go meh, I know, because I went meh. I really did go meh. Right, there's another Robin Hood movie being made by Lionsgate.
Really?
And it's called Robin Hood Origins. Meh. That's what the bloody Russell Crowe movie was.
Robin Hood Oranges.
Fuck off. Don't start that. I didn't do that. You did.
For anybody who doesn't get that joke, one of Chris's favourite X-Men movies is X-Men Wolverine Oranges. Check out the YouTube channel for that video.
Yeah, you're an arsehole.
So Robin Hood Oranges.
Robin Hood Oranges, aye. I'd watch Robin Hood Oranges.
I'd watch that as well, to be fair. More than I'd watch Robin Hood Origins.
Careful now, Gav. You might make an arse of yourself.
So who's going to be Robin Hood this time?
Oh, fuck do I know. It's just been announced. Again, it could be bullshit. I read it today.
I'm going to go with bullshit on that
but
one.
But it was on Digital Spy, so...
What, and they are above April Fools?
I don't know. It might be bullshit. I really don't know. Yeah, the other thing was, said this to you the other day, Hugh Jackman is only going to play Wolverine one more time.
See, right, I've been thinking about this shit, right? Does he mean one more time as in a solo movie, or one more time as in he's done?
Well, they don't know yet. I've just read one more time. So people are trying to speculate, does that mean Wolverine 3, which has been rumoured, or Apocalypse?
Nah, I think it's going to be one more solo movie. I think he'll keep coming back as Wolverine for the team up movies. You know, he'll basically become the Robert Downey Jr. of the X-Men. Because he is.
What are they going to do with Wolverine now? Because you can't have an X-Men movie without Wolverine.
Well, exactly.
Surely.
So you'll keep coming back and
unless they kill him off. They killed him off in the comics, didn't they?
Well, they have just killed him off in the comics, yeah.
They could do that.
No, I think he just basically means he's going to make one more solo project, and then he's going to let Channing Tatum do his Gambit movie, Ryan Reynolds do his Deadpool movie.
Did you see the photo of Deadpool lying in front of the fire?
Fantastic.
That's class.
It is.
I am actually. I don't know a great deal about Deadpool. But when I saw that, I laughed a bit. So I'll bloody give that a watch.
I think I like Ryan Reynolds. I like him as an actor. And there's not many films that I've thought he was terrible in. I've thought he's been in terrible movies, but he's normally quite good in them.
Yeah, I suppose you could say that with Green Lantern, for example, which is just shite. But he was pretty okay.
He was okay in that. I'm not going to say he was brilliant in that.
When you've got fucking source material like that piece of shit,
yep.
You can't really do much else.
I think generally he's a good actor and he brings his A game in almost everything. And I think Deadpool, he's wanted to do that film for so fucking long, and they finally getting it made, and they seem to be getting the rating they want. They've got a director they like. They've got writers they love. That film's going to be shit hot, like.
So was Deadpool the guy that he played in the Wolverine Oranges?
Aye, that is Deadpool. Very,
right, okay.
Very. I know he's wisecracking and a bit of a twat, but it's a very watered down version of Deadpool, and
right.
The special abilities he had were just immense. It was like, let's just give him everything.
I just remember him stopping bullets with swords and stuff. I thought, okay, that's cool. Is that what Deadpool does?
He kind of does. He's just like
he's all swordy and stuff.
He's just a wisecracking, beer drinking, cigarette smoking, womanizing gun for hire.
So I take it this movie's going to be an 18 then.
I would imagine
it's not going to be your standard bloody, PG pish. Well, you know what? If he cares so much about the character and has been trying so long to get this movie made, then hopefully it'll be a decent effort kind of thing.
Yeah, I've got a lot of hope for it. I've got no hope for Channing Tatum being in Gambit, but I've got a lot of hope for that.
So I don't know which one Gambit is. Is that like an X-Men universe?
He was also in X-Men Oranges. He was Taylor Kitsch played him.
So did you have any more bits of news then?
The only thing I had was the Mallrats 2. We touched on the fact that Mallrats 2 is getting made now. Kevin Smith he's announced that, and he's doing a bit of a campaign on Facebook. He's releasing pictures every other day. He has a cast of 11 people from the original movie that he wants.
Right.
So he's been doing a countdown, and he's got most of them now, but now he's just added another 4, and we don't know who they are yet.
I need to watch this movie again.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember anything about it. Because we probably fucking spoke the whole way through the bloody film, so I need to watch it again.
If I'm totally honest, it's the one Kevin Smith movie I wasn't really that fussed about having a sequel. I mean, Clerks 3, I wanted that since the moment Clerks 2 finished, but Mallrats, I can't say I was ever crying out for a sequel to this.
Even Clerks 2, I can't remember anything about it.
Oh, Clerks 2 was just amazing.
One more bit of news. Is
this Justin.
Is that Jim Parsons from Big Bang Theory wants to play the Riddler in a Batman movie, obviously. It's not been announced or anything, he just wants to.
Yeah, no.
Nah.
I'm not a massive, huge fan of the Big Bang Theory, as you know.
Well, you were enjoying it until they did, was this like season 1 or season 2, where they did a Jar Jar Binks impression, so you took the huff?
Yes.
Pretty much?
Yes.
It's now on fucking season 7 or 8, man.
That's a good enough reason to drop any show, alright?
Because it's on 7 or 8. Or because they did a Jar Jar.
Because they did a Jar Jar.
That happened one time in 7 seasons.
I'm not bothered.
That's the only time.
It happened. We should not be making light of this travesty of a character, alright? And they were making light of it. And they were doing it as if they enjoyed the character.
No, they weren't.
It seemed to me like they were.
No, they weren't. They said to Leonard, because he was like the sort of the shit child, and so Howard said you're like the Jar Jar Binks of the Hostetter family. That's what the joke was?
Nah, I'm not going there.
Ah, you fucking arsehole. Anyway, so Jar Jar Binks. No. Nah. No.
Jar Jar Binks wants to be the Riddler.
Jar Jar Binks wants to be the Riddler. Yeah.
Nice one.
So what was next?
Right, so that's the news roundup. Wasn't a great deal to go on this month. I mean, we've got Comic-Con coming in the next couple of weeks. Things are going to...
Well, basically, in the last episode, we had the Spider-Man news, didn't we?
Yeah,
so
we had big news
That was the biggie.
So this time it's been a bit thin on the ground. I'm assuming by next time we're going to have a shit ton of things to talk about on the news.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to the Walking Dead, because we had the Walking Dead season finale. On the 365Flicks podcast, we've had, I think we've done 2 episodes where we've talked about The Walking Dead already.
Well, we did in, like, I don't know, episode 6 or something.
I think it was like 4 and 6.
What we were looking forward to in season 5. Was this before season 5 even started?
Yeah, we don't know what we were looking forward to.
And I was just dreading it.
Yeah, you were. You were really dreading it.
I was, and I feel it's a complete reversal now because I actually enjoyed it, and you kind of didn't.
Yeah, it's like I said. I put a comment on Facebook about the season finale. Right. So first off, we done the build up before it started, saying how disappointed we were in the last series because the second half was fucking atrocious.
Of season 4.
It was season 4.
Yeah.
It was Stand By Me with zombies. We got to the mid-season finale of season 5, and we both had completely changed our minds. Like, we were both sold.
The 5A, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved every single episode of it.
I can't remember a bad episode.
Absolutely not. I think it was great. It was just the first part of season 5 was absolutely fantastic.
I mean, was I bothered about Beth dying? Probably not. They could have killed other characters. I would have been more bothered about.
I was just more happy that they didn't kill off Carol.
Yeah, because that's where it looked like.
At that point, I was still sticking by it. Where the last time we spoke about it properly, remember I said if Carol dies, I quit.
Yeah, that was you out.
That was me out. Aye. So at that point, I mean, I was enjoying the first part of season 5. But if they'd killed off Carol in that episode after having her being run over and shit, which was a really dick move to Carol.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been happy. So I'd rather Beth than Carol, to be honest.
Even though she did make a miraculous recovery,
Carol.
Hit by a car.
She's like Jack Bauer.
But then again, she's now the den mother, isn't she? She's the cub mother. And then second half came along.
So.
And again, it's second half for you. What were your thoughts and feelings?
So, well, they opened up with what happened before they got to Alexandria. They kind of had
they went to Noah's
a couple
hometown.
Episodes where they were down and out. They were all sick as fuck, and Rick had the line, "We are the Walking Dead."
Yeah,
which was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool monologue that Rick had in that episode.
Rick had a few good monologues in the second half.
So at the start of the season, spoilers by the way.
Oh yeah, big spoilers. Because we don't care about
it. If anybody wants to switch off, just don't.
Just don't.
Spoilers ahead.
Just skip ahead to the next bit.
Yeah. So at the start of the season 5B, they are the Walking Dead, as Rick said. They're just sort of walking about, basically fucked.
Yeah.
And then this guy finds them. He says, come with me to my town, and because you're survivors and we all like you. You're our favourite people ever and stuff.
See, though, there's a big thing you're missing already, and it nearly made me turn off for good because he was one of my favourite characters. How could they just kill Tyrese like that?
Meh. I wasn't bothered about him dying, to be honest.
Well, it was just so left field, like, yeah, we're all walking around pretty fucked. We're going to go to Noah's hometown. Why they went there, I don't know. It was so bloody pointless.
Wasn't it like it was on the way to Washington or some bloody thing? Because they decided they were going to go to Washington anyway.
Yeah, I think it was on the way, but they basically went there to kill Tyrese.
Yeah, that was like Rick and Carol and Daryl's plan.
I think it was
Whoa.
because Rick was kind of like, you know what? There's just this group is on the same page as me. However, we've got one do-gooder that we just have to kill, and that's Tyrese. We've got to get rid of Tyrese.
You see, aye, that's the thing. Even though baby Judith's life was in danger, he only pretended to kill the cunt, so
I don't care.
he's dead to us now.
It was a character they wasted from the word go.
I agree with you. He could have been badass. In fact, haven't you said to me before that in the comics he's more important than Daryl?
Well, in the comics, Daryl doesn't even exist. He's not in the comic books.
Oh,
it's a character that
right.
was the character was actually created for Norman Reedus.
All right, I didn't know that.
Because I think I read something. I might be wrong. Don't quote me. But I'm sure he read for the part of Rick, and the producers didn't see him as Rick, but they loved the actor so much they pretty much just wrote him apart. That's why in series 1 he's only like a bit part in series 1, and then they realised how much people were connecting with the character, so he's now the biggest thing on the show basically.
No, Carol.
Well, yeah, Carol is fucking awesome. Like, yeah, but they killed Tyrese.
So they killed Tyrese. I wasn't bothered.
I was big time bothered.
Don't get me wrong, it was a bit of a shock. I didn't see it coming, and when they had the flashes of the governor and the two kids, actually didn't annoy me as much as in the episode where they killed them off.
Is that not just because you knew they were dead?
Maybe.
Was it like, it's okay, it's just an apparition, they're going to go away in a minute?
That could be what it is, aye. So it was good to see the governor there, with the two little girls. And then they had Beth as well, didn't they?
Yeah, she basically walked him into the light.
Because there wasn't their campaign, like, bring Beth back.
Yeah, that wasn't going to happen.
So it was kind of like the directors or writers were ever going, nah, she's still dead, fuck off. So that was pretty cool how they had him sort of struggling for life and stuff, and but I didn't miss him when he went, sort of thing. I didn't think, Tyrese would have been good in that scene, because he wouldn't have done anything. He would have gone, I'm not going to do anything anyway, etc. So after that, they've killed Tyrese, and then the guy shows up.
Yeah, the guy then showed up. What was his name? Aaron or Eric or Aaron? Oh, Aaron. But the Americans called him Aaron, because that's just American. So homie showed up, and he was all like, come to my safe haven, the Alexandria safe zone, or whatever they want to call it. And he took them there, and it took them a couple of episodes to get there, though, didn't it? It was
it did.
Because it's Walking Dead.
I'll tell you what, the bit that you're forgetting about, it's not really a huge thing, is when they had him in the barn.
Yeah, the barn was cool.
And he delivered the same line to them as they did in Terminus.
Yeah.
Which is like, we're stronger with you, or something like that. So Rick knocked him the fuck out. That was amazing. That was a bloody good scene.
It was a good scene, because as always with Rick, he's just when somebody goes up against Rick, there's always like a bit of tension building, and then there's always that snapping point, and he just hit that snapping point just perfectly, and Rick was just like, nah. Rick's just like, I'm gonna do things. And just punched him.
That's a pretty good southern accent.
And then he like turned around and was like, Carl. So they get to the safe zone.
Yep.
And the safe zone, you kept texting me like, when is this gonna go south? When are we gonna find out that the safe zone people are a bunch of cannibals?
Right. See, this is where I think that the series actually worked for me. I know you sort of had your doubts about the second part of season 5 after they got to Alexandria. This is where it worked, is because it was tense as hell, and you were sort of thinking, what is actually going to bloody happen here? You kept on, it was like a sort of boiling point by the time the finale came. We'll come to the finale in a second.
Yeah.
By the time the finale came, Michonne had knocked Rick out, and this was coming. You had a wife beater, and Carol was obviously having flashbacks to when she was being all beaten and stuff, and she said to Rick, you're going to have to kill him. A little bit disappointed she didn't do it herself, but then she was all invisible. Which I absolutely loved.
I did love the whole cookies thing with the kid when he was all like, I'm going to tell everyone. And she's like, you're not going to tell everyone, because if you tell everyone, you're going to wake up outside the fences tied to a tree. I was just sat there like, you know, I was actually literally sat there watching it going, go Carol!
I watch my dad's gotten into The Walking Dead. And I watched that episode with him. When it got to that bit, that scene, Carol said her thing and he went, whoa. Which, you know, my dad is an awkward bastard when it comes to TV shows and stuff. So I kind of think that the fact that he went, whoa, that's a pretty good indication, really.
That's how you gauge. That's how you gauge any future TV shows. Would this make him go, whoa?
So I absolutely loved what they did with Carol. You know, they made her invisible and they made her, you know, a sort of housewife again, kind of thing. Even though she was still kick-ass.
Yeah.
Daryl, I think I agree with what they did, where they sort of turned him into the guy who goes out to look for people.
Because he would be that guy.
He would be that guy.
In that situation.
Michonne, I kind of kept on expecting her to die.
Yeah.
Because she'd turned against Rick, kind of thing, where she said, right, we're going here. You know, before they went to Alexandria, Rick was saying, oh, we can't, it's not safe. And then Michonne kind of overruled him in front of everyone. And I thought, you're dead.
Yeah, whenever somebody does that, they tend to die.
Rick had a haircut and a shave. Can't go wrong.
Which you have been asking for, because...
I have been asking for that.
I was looking through the old episodes trying to see when we talked about this. And I'm pretty sure episode 2 was when we talked about the pre-show. Because it's literally called Rick Needs a Wash.
I didn't know that, okay. I did have quite a long rant about that.
So do you think you've got over your pent-up aggression now that he's had a shave?
Now that he's had a shave, aye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so what did you think then?
I completely agree in a lot of aspects with what you're saying. I think Scott Gimple and Robert Kurtzman, the showrunners and the producers, they did an unbelievable job this series. In the fact that they kind of toned things down a bit, they brought things a little bit back, and like you're saying, everything was just simmering away. You know, when you watch like a cookery program and they've got like 7 or 8 pots on the go, and they're, you know, simmering away all the different pots, and there was a lot of things going on. It didn't seem like there was a lot going on, but there was a lot going on that all paid off in the finale. But at the same time, it makes things boring as shit. And there was episodes where, like, you were coming into the episode and I'm thinking, like, I felt so disjointed a lot of the time, and I hate when I feel like that. I don't mind feeling like that for the first 2 minutes of the episode, but if I feel like that for the whole series, it kind of just messes with me, and I don't like it. I agree with what you're saying. I also thought Michonne was going to die at some point. If they throw one more Glenn's going to die fucking red herring at me, I'm going to flip. Because you had him in Terminus over the pig trough, just about to get smacked over the back of the head. Yeah. And then you had him when he was with Noah, and poor fucking Noah. Death of the season.
Definitely.
You know.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. I was sat there like, Jesus. They just fucking saved him.
Yeah, you see, that's where what happened in the finale, that pissed me off with the Glenn scene.
Yeah, Glenn and Nicholas.
So let's talk about the finale.
It just the whole thing with Glenn, like, when are they actually going to kill him? Because they keep throwing that at you.
Glenn saw the guy, Nicholas, is it?
Yeah.
Climbing over the walls.
Yeah.
So Nicholas was obviously setting a trap for him.
Yeah.
Come after me, you bastard, you, kind of thing. So Glenn went after him. Glenn got shot. They fought a little bit. Glenn got pinned down by, 6 walkers?
Aye.
And then...
But it's Glenn.
It cuts away.
Mm-hmm.
It cuts away. And then later on in the episode, Glenn suddenly appears out of nowhere and starts fighting Nicholas again. And then has mercy on him and lets him live.
Yeah, what the fuck was that all about?
No, Glenn shoots the cunt in the head.
Yeah. Turns him into a walker and cuts a W in his head. Or a G. So we'll do the finale. We've dealt with Glenn there, but I mean, Glenn's story in that episode is neither here nor there.
I said it to you the other night, Kev. when you know how obviously the priest fella left the door open and stuff. I was really hoping for zombie Glenn to walk in
And just start eating everyone.
and for Maggie or whoever, it would have been Rick, let's face it, to have to kill him.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping for in the finale. That would have been amazing.
See,
It would have been devastating because
it's Glenn.
he's been screwed over by this guy, and it would have been devastating for everyone.
I mean, Glenn's
Not for us, but for
Glenn's
them.
not had an easy time of it, and he's been there from the word go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's had a really bad time of it. Merle used to knock him about because he was a racist bastard. Fucking the governor threatened to bum rape his bird.
Right.
His bird's dad got his throat cut, his head cut off in front of him. It's not been an easy time for him, and he had to consummate his marriage on a pallet. So I think it's about time Glenn died.
That's what I was expecting, but
I know
didn't happen.
I know what you're saying when you say that, and I did actually. A lot of people were saying that on the social media and on that movie pilot. Some people were kind of suggesting that that's what was going to happen. Like Glenn was going to be the one walking through, and he was going to be the catalyst in the Alexander. See me, when you watch the new Star Wars movies, the new trilogy. God forbid you ever watch them again. By the end of that first movie, I kind of want to see Anakin turn into Vader. I kind of had that feeling with this series. Not somebody turning into Vader, but we'd been seeing the wolves, we'd been seeing the hints all along. And when that gate didn't close halfway through the episode, I thought, right, they're going to have this big meeting. They're going to start trying to throw Rick out. They're going to walk him to the gates. And the wolves are all going to be standing at the gates. There's going to be like an army of people at the gates with the walker zombies behind them, And I thought, how fucking cool would that be to end the show?
That would have been cool, but no.
We're just going to deal with the wolves in the next episode, the next series.
They've set them up a little bit, but they've set them up as kind of pussies because Morgan kicked their asses.
What was going on with Morgan being the new Qui-Gon Jinn, the new Darth Maul, Obi-Wan Kenobi?
He's like Little John.
Fucking Little John.
In Robin Hood Oranges.
But how bloody good was he? That whole scene.
He was awesome. I was texting you while I was watching the episode the other night, and he was bloody kick-ass. Happy days. I'm happy with that character, but it didn't leave the wolves in a very good light because he fucking whooped them.
Plus the fact that there's only two of them. What's that all about? Like I'm expecting like a big group of people,
because you'd read a thing before the finale. Before we watched it, saying that the body parts that Daryl and the other fella, the body parts were Morgan's. And you remember I got the rage saying, well, what's the bloody point of that? So obviously that wasn't the case. But
I think that might have just been a red herring, but the guy that done it was on Reddit. It was like a little post, and he had pictures of like the arm and the glasses and the watch and that and the ring, and it looked bloody, it resembled Morgan's clothes.
This guy needs to get a job.
Yeah, pretty much. But that's what they're out there for, to help us, It
didn't help us because it just threw us off completely.
But I'm glad that didn't happen.
Aye.
I am glad that didn't
happen. I'm glad that didn't happen as well, given what we were shown of Morgan. I'm excited to see him in the next series.
The thing I absolutely loved as well was the last time we saw Morgan, he was batshit crazy. He was, he was writing names all over the wall. He was talking about these whisperers. He was like all about people wearing zombies' faces and shit, which apparently is going to come later, but we won't talk about that just now. It was Rick that obviously brought him back, because now he's looking for Rick.
Yeah.
And then when he meets Rick, turns out Rick's gone batshit crazy.
I don't think he had.
I think this is going to be the thing that pulls him back, though.
See, I don't think Rick had.
I think he has gone a bit nuts.
But he hadn't. That's the thing, right, let's talk about Rick's story then.
Right.
So he's kind of fallen for this woman,
which is the quickest love story ever.
Oh yeah, have you ever watched Disney? No, it's not. No, it's fucking not.
The Walking Dead, brought to you by Disney.
So Rick is kind of fallen for this woman who is married to a wife beater, and so Carol says to him, "You're going to have to kill him." Rick goes there to try and say to her, who's by the way, Rick is obeying Deanna's orders, saying, "You're not going to kill him. You're not going to do that. You can take her away from him, but you're not going to kill him. Rick is obeying this. The guy comes in and goes...
He's marginally obeying this.
He's obeying it. He's saying, he said to her, all you need to do is say yes, and I'll take you away from this. He was obeying what Deanna said to him.
Right.
And then this guy comes in and goes, you need to get in my house, and meh. And so they start fighting, and then all of a sudden it's... Rick is the bad guy there for beating up a wife beater? Really?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
How?
Because he does a fucking rant in the middle of the street, pulls a gun out and starts pointing it at people.
Okay, so he pulled a gun out.
It's all fun and games till somebody pulls a gun.
He still beat up a wife beater, so...
That
He can't go wrong.
was Rick's monologue of any season for me. Like, if you have to go through the entire whole thing so far, that bit when Rick was on the floor and he's like, out there is the same as in here.
Yeah.
And he was like, you can't live by your rules, you gotta live by my rules. I think I text you, and when she says, it's never been more apparent than it is right now.
Yeah, he said you've got to be selective by who you let in here or something. And she goes, nothing's more apparent than that. Yeah.
It's the way he looks at her, and he kind of moves himself forward, but he's like, me? It seems like he's quite offended.
Okay, yeah, he pulled the gun on them, but I don't see why Rick was the bad guy in that scene. He was beating up a wife beater.
I see what you're saying, but these people are living very, very sheltered fucking lives right now.
Well, that was really the whole sort of slow build up of this, is that they're like Carol said Carol had an amazing line in the finale where she sort of, they said to her, why do you tell them these stories? Why do you tell them these lies? Because they're children and children like to be told stories. I fucking love that line.
I think Carol stole the episode for me.
Yeah. Even that scene in the house where she takes the casserole, as she's been doing throughout the whole series. She takes the casserole to the wife beater's house. She takes the knife out and she's sort of saying, "Do something. Come at me." That was fantastic.
But again,
that was absolutely fantastic.
You're saying she's becoming invisible and she's dropping down to that role of like just not being there and being the one behind the scenes. This is the woman who pretty much took down Terminus by herself, man.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying anything against the character. I think.
Do you think she's going to carry that on, or do you think next series?
Yeah, I do because you know when they were having their town meeting in the finale, Carol was all sort of saying, Rick protected me and Rick defended me because I couldn't defend myself and all that kind of thing. I think that's the writers are just playing her brilliantly, because I'm not saying when I said the invisible thing, I'm not saying anything against the character of Carol. No. Because I think that how she's made herself invisible because she's like a housewife and she's making cookies and she's making casserole and she's sort of playing the how she said, I've used a handgun once, but I don't know what these ones do and all that. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, they're going the right way with Carol. I'll say that they really are. I want to see her getting back to the whole, look at the flowers kind of thing, because I miss all that.
You want her to kill more kids? Is that what you're saying?
I don't want her to kill more. I want her to kill that kid, but I don't really want her to kill many more kids.
Which kid?
The little boy. He's annoying.
Oh no, I like him.
He's annoying.
He's all right.
He's annoying.
He's not as annoying as the bloody. They're not all bad, really.
Okay, so where do we?
Moving on then.
What about that final scene with in the camp when they're doing the big meeting, and you were cutting around the place and you had the whole Sasha thing going on?
Well, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about the final scenes of the finale. I was expecting something huge to happen.
Well, like I say, I was expecting the wolves to be at the gates,
Yeah, I was expecting somebody one of them, as you said the other night to me, they'd been giving us signals throughout the finale that, Sasha lying down in the mass pit. What was the one you said about Glenn?
Glenn.
That kind of sort of foretold that he was going to die. You said something to me. I can't remember what it bloody was.
I think the whole series has been telling you Glenn's going to die.
Yeah, yeah. But it was sort of, there was all this as soon as Rick found that the doors were open, had been left open, you know, you had all the tense music and all that, and then he was going about looking, something was wrong.
I think even
and
before that, you know, like when the gate closed and then bounced back, right from that very moment that the gate bounced back, the music started to build. Because I noticed it straight away, like the kind of the hairs on the back of my neck started standing up because the music was fucking excellent, and it was like, oh shit.
It was. I just think they were building up to, they were building the tension up, as has been the case the whole series. The tension has been building, as you said earlier on. You know, it's like a cooking program where you've got so many pots simmering away, and it's coming to bubbling point, and something's going to happen. Someone's going to die. Someone's going to get it. Is it going to be Glenn? Is it going to be Sasha? Is it going to be Rick? Is it going to be Michonne? Not Carol.
Never Carol.
Never Carol. Never that. You know, something's going to happen. What the hell is going to happen? And then it doesn't.
Some random old bastard that nobody really cares about. Some
random old bastard gets his throat slit by accident.
By accident.
Because he was going all He-Man and taking the fucking samurai sword out of his jacket, and he goes, and oh no.
And then she tells him to kill the man that he wasn't allowed to kill.
Yeah, fake Catherine Janeway.
Fake Catherine Janeway. I loved it when you text.
You should have had Kate Mulgrew in that role.
When you text me that, sitting there, I was going, oh yeah, she does look like Kate Mulgrew.
So yeah, it was just a bit of a whimper.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed the series as a whole. I've enjoyed it, and I thought, you know, it's been building up and building up and building up, and you know, they were having the big town meeting and all that, and then the Walkers have got in, and you know, if they'd had like Glenn Walker come in and try and attack Maggie, you know, that kind of thing, it goes for Maggie, and Rick has to save them, something like that.
It would have been
it would have been better. So, I just think, you know what I think is, it's maybe struggling from True Blood syndrome, where they have so many characters now. You know, it's obviously finished, but they have so many characters, and they're afraid to kill any of them off.
I think they're getting that way with The Walking Dead, yeah.
So they maybe need to take a leaf out of the Game of Thrones book
and just not care,
and just say, right, flip a coin, throw a dart.
Thing is, like you say,
dead.
Like you say though, like you said before this series started, before even Part A started, if Carol goes, that's it. You know, there's a lot of people saying that about Carol, and there's a hell of a lot of people saying that about Daryl. And let's be honest, they ain't going to kill Rick. Rick's not dying for a while.
They're not going to kill Rick. I'm still on right now. After the finale, if they kill Carol, I don't know if I would still be interested in watching it.
It would be totally different.
Would, but I think after that finale episode where she is so fucking good.
Well, she was chilling. She was chilling as hell.
I think that the show would start to fail because Carol isn't in there. And Daryl is an awesome character as well. But I have to say the scene in the car in the finale episode where, you know, the two of them are in the car and they're surrounded by walkers and all that. I did actually kind of think that's how Daryl goes.
Hi, in a car like Thelma and Louise.
You know, you sort of said, well, if you're going to kill off Daryl, it can't be anything. It can't be one walker. It can't be one man.
Aye.
So Daryl sacrifices himself so the other guy can get away. I thought that's how Daryl goes, but
I kind of thought, I did think for a split second, I was sat there watching it, I'm thinking, is this when Daryl dies? I was like, Daryl gonna die now? Am I good with this? Am I okay with this? And I think I kind of, before they even got out of the car, I was like, yeah, I'll continue watching till the end, even if he dies right now. You know, it was just that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, they are going to have to, if they want to build up the tension of the show, they're going to have to grow some balls.
Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones, where no bastard is safe.
Because they killed Beth, who nobody cared about. They've now killed Noah.
Well, Beth had been away the whole bloody series.
Exactly. They've now killed Noah, who we didn't even get a chance to care about. They killed Tyrese, who was a safe character to kill anyway. Sasha can die for me. I've got no interest.
I wasn't going to be... You know what? I mean, I said to you that bloody priest fella he needs to get his.
Yeah.
And then they started fucking praying.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
He tried to kill Sasha, and then Sasha's pointing the gun at him, and Michonne comes in and goes, no, 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 no. And so they start fucking praying.
That's what you do in a zombie apocalypse, you pray.
No, bloody is not.
So can we both agree that the kill of the finale goes to Daryl for the chain whip?
Yes, absolutely.
Because I did kind of jump back in my head when he did that.
That was awesome. That was really awesome. Yeah, I love that scene. Yeah, definitely. Kill of the series, probably.
Probably, aye. Because
there
wasn't that many awesome ones. But I'll tell you something though, when the awesome deaths do come, it tends to be Daryl.
Yeah.
They seem to give him the
or
good
Michonne.
ones. Michonne gets good ones.
Michonne has a few good ones.
Rick putting the gun in the zombie's head and just basically pushing it through its head for Rick was brilliant.
And I mean that scene where he was basically squeezing the walker's head off.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. And I was watching it, and he sort of squeezed his head off, and then it kind of exploded, and those of blood went over him, and I kind of went, fuck off. You dirty bastards. So I would say, yeah, kill of the season for Daryl for that. I'd say character of the season is Carol again.
Oh, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
And you know what? Eugene has totally grown on me.
You see, they have these characters, and they sort of had them disappear for half the season.
Yeah, like Eugene and Abraham.
Like the priest. We didn't see the priest go into Alexandria.
Yeah, because I thought they were going to build that up to the point where he was kind of. I still think he's working with a group outside of the survivors. I still think there's something not quite right with him.
Well, obviously. See, I did actually kind of like that they turned him into a bit of a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, but it didn't last.
Well, it didn't last because he started praying. You know, if he'd slit Sasha's throat and then blamed it on a walker, and then in season 6 he starts bumping people off because he's a bit of an old Norman Bates. That would have been amazing.
That would have been pretty cool.
You know, that would have been cool. It's not all about the walkers and the wolves. It's about who have you got in your actual walls. That would have been cool. That's what I mean. I
still think he's going to be Dodge. Because it's Seth Gilliam, and he's a great actor, and he needs to start doing something.
Other than the finale, they've not done anything with the guy. So yeah, that's The Walking Dead.
That's The Walking Dead season 5 done. Now we've got a long wait for season 6. However, I think they're saying that the first series of the spin-off is going to be before the next series comes out.
Didn't it say on the teaser coming summer?
Yeah, it was something like summer, yeah.
Yeah, that's all right.
So we'll get that, and we'll be able to talk about that and see how that feels. I'm not feeling the title though. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Fear. I mean, if they make it tense as hell, and it's all about, I suppose, if this thing is kicking off, because in the teaser trailer they're saying, if you feel rough today, if you feel ill today, don't go into work and all that kind of thing. If they're going to build up the fear of, am I going to catch this? Am I going to turn it in a walker and that kind of thing? You know what? I'm excited about it.
I'm excited about the show. I think I could do with a better name.
You're The Walking Dead. Yeah. What do you call it? What do you actually bloody call it?
Like Walking Dead, The Others.
No, that's shit.
Right, so the other big show on our calendar is coming back, the Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. So Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So Game of Thrones starts on the 13th of April, is it?
Yes.
I feel.
Which gives me 13 days to get this turned around.
Be fine.
That'd be fine.
That'll not take you that long.
Nah.
So, I rewatched season 4. Obviously we had, in the second last episode, we had the big fight with the Mountain versus the Viper and all that.
Christ. Was that as brutal second time round?
Yes.
Yes. Still as brutal.
Yep. Still not as brutal as the Red Wedding.
No.
No, it was the second last episode was the attack on the wall.
Right.
It was the one before that. Bygones. Anyway.
When the daft ginger bitch died.
So in the final episode, where have we got everyone?
You know what it is, to be totally honest, I think I'm going to have to go back and rewatch that series as well, because I can't really remember it.
Let me tell you.
Bits.
We've got Arya.
You were well proud of yourself there, weren't you?
I was.
Well, let me tell you. Previously on Game of Thrones. Right.
Arya is cashed in her coin.
Oh yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So she's on the ship on the way to
Dawn, is it?
Is it Dawn? Everybody seems to be going to Dawn because that's where Tyrion is going.
Yeah, Tyrion's going there.
Tyrion has just killed his dad and escaped custody after losing the trial by combat.
Miserably.
So he's now guilty of killing Joffrey because he lost the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Tyrion is on the way to Dorne, and Arya is on the way to Dorne.
Mm-hmm.
She's casting her coin. The mountain, we assume, is dead.
Oh, the mountain. Yeah, I think the mountain's pretty much fucked.
Not the mountain. No, not the mountain.
The Hound.
The Hound. Sorry,
yeah,
the
I don't think the Hound's
mountain's
dead.
not dead. No, we didn't see the mountain die. He was all in surgery and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's not dead. I think he'll be back. I want to see him back actually.
I don't think the Hound's dead either.
No.
No. I don't want him to be.
I don't know. See, I think he is, because I think that was a bloody good battle with him and Lady, what's her name? Yep.
Brienne of Tarth.
I think she's fucking class.
I think she's great, and I'm looking forward to seeing her a bit more.
You know, we had a chat about doing a future section of our top whatever characters, and you know what? I think she's in there.
She's definitely in there for me.
I think she's brilliant. So I want to see more from her. Sansa has stopped being such a pussy and stopped crying all the time, and she's kind of joined forces with Littlefinger.
Such a cool name. Littlefinger.
So those two are gonna sort of start taking over the.
Because he's like
Shire.
He's
no, not Shire. That's the wrong franchise.
Is it not a case that he's like pretty much behind everything that's happened so far?
Yeah,
like...
well, that was pretty much he was. It went right back to when Ned Stark was killed. That whole thing was all him.
And even kind of... Jaime Lannister killing the idiot king, or the drunken king, or whatever he was called.
Frey? Is it Frey?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much all of it has been Littlefinger.
Yeah, which is cool.
So I want to see. I actually, you know what? He's got a bit of a weird accent in it.
You're not quite sure what the accent is, are you?
No.
It's like a mixture between like pedo and pervert.
But he is class.
Yeah.
Littlefinger. So I want to see a lot more from him in this series. So Cersei and Jaime have pretty much said, you know what, fuck it. We're going to screw each other in front of everyone, and we're not going to fuck. That's where they are.
Which, to be fair, they weren't really hiding it anyway.
Well, when Jaime came back and he was all one-handed and stuff, Cersei wasn't all that convinced.
Yeah.
Maybe that was his finger in hand. I don't know.
Maybe that was his little finger.
Maybe that was his little finger. Anyway, so that's where they were. Obviously, Tywin is dead. Stannis Baratheon has got an army now because he helped out Black Watch with a big dose of horses and all Lord of the Rings stuff.
He's all pally with Jon Snow.
So he's all pally with Jon Snow. So Jon Snow is basically in charge, I think, of the Night's Watch now.
Fuck's sake.
So that's where they are.
Can I just call this now? Can I just call this right now? Jon Snow. He's the fucking worst character I've ever seen in TV history. They seem to have a plan for this character, and they just don't seem to be getting there. And in the meantime, I would rather see 10 episodes of Bran Stark than fucking 10 more episodes of this generic douchebag.
He is pretty generic. He's a generic good guy though. He's like your hero. He's not going anywhere.
I don't want to see him anymore. He's just a curly-haired gimp. I wish somebody would kill him.
But I don't think he's going anywhere. But then, I didn't think Joffrey was going anywhere at the start of last season.
I definitely didn't think Joffrey... I thought Joffrey had
I
another
didn't see
couple
that
of
coming.
series in him.
But then, I've not read the books, so Paul was smug as a bastard because he knew it was going to happen. So
General disclaimer for anyone listening: we don't read the books, so don't call us.
I've read the first two, but then I didn't get any further. So
I think I read the first 2 pages.
Khaleesi has locked up her fucking dragons.
Oh yeah, she's going back, isn't she? She's backtracking.
Bitch. She's kicked what's his name? But he's in the trailer, so he's bloody well in it. He's still there. So he was kind of going back to King's Landing, but I'm not really sure if he's gonna or not.
I'm sure somebody told me he kind of joins up with, like, you know how they have the cell swords. Apparently he joins up with them, sort of thing, which I could see.
Yeah, so she's all sort of high and mighty and bloody holier than thou and all that bullshit. So after she locked up her dragons, I've got no more time for her. She's dead to me. Yeah, she well, I think it was the last episode where the guy came in and he showed her his dead child, what had been burned by the dragon. But it was the big dragon. It wasn't the other two. Bless them.
So she locked them up, didn't she? She caged them.
She locked up the 2 littler ones. Ah,
you really were devastated by that. I remember. I'm pretty sure you sent me a text saying I think I might be out.
Oh, I wasn't going to stop watching the series, but you know what? She can fuck off now. After she's done that, they didn't do anything.
I'm not a massive fan of that character anyway anymore. I think it's the whole fact that, they seem in King's Landing and was it Winterfell? They seem to be able to get from Winterfell to King's Landing quite quickly. I mean, I've not done the geography. I don't know much about the maps, but she seems to be moving like an inch on the map every 2 series.
Yeah.
And they seem to be able to go back and forth, like, whenever they want. She's doing my nothing, to be fair.
She's got fucking dragons, just climbing a dragon and then you're there.
But I might...
But anyway, so she's got the Unsullied and all that, and she's sort of ready to do her thing, but she's locked up her dragons instead. That's where we left her.
So you fucked off with that then?
She can piss off. With the big dragon, which... after rewatching it, actually, I agree with you. Bran is totally going to fly the big dragon, which has gone dark, so we don't know where that one is.
It's gone Jack Bauer. Mm-hmm. It's gone rogue.
Exactly.
Damn it, Chloe!
So we don't know where that one is. It was maybe Smaug. We don't know.
I hope it wasn't Smaug, because they'll take it down within 2 seconds of the next series.
Shit, that's right. Yeah. After like a whole bloody movie about it, we. You know what? This is nothing to do with Game of Thrones. I had bloody Desolation of Smaug Blu-ray pre-ordered, and for the Battle of Five Armies, I'm not arsed about seeing it again.
Oh, you're not giving up on the rings, are you?
It's nothing to do with Lord of the Rings. Well, it kind of is, but it's not. It's not a patch on Lord of the Rings. So anyway, back to Game of Thrones.
I mean, I have no idea where it's going to go, and I'll be completely honest with you. The trailers I've stayed away from. I've tried not to watch anything, because Game of Thrones is one of those shows I like to just come in fresh. I like to just sit down and watch it. Walking Dead, I like to kind of see what's coming. I like to know what's coming. Other shows, I'm the same, But Game of Thrones, I just like to watch it because it's always totally unexpected anyway.
Yeah, I see. That's the thing. Like the other week, the George R.R. Martin came out and said that apparently five big characters who don't die in the books are going to die in season 5.
Yeah, I read that.
And when I read that, I just thought, fuck you. don't fucking tell me that, because I don't want to hear that. I'm the same as you, Kev. I want to go in and I mean, when they killed off Joffrey at the start of season 4, what was it, episode 2 or something?
Yeah.
I totally did not see that coming, and that's how I want to watch Game of Thrones.
I was the same, especially when...
I don't want this bloody beardy bastard to say to me, oh, we're going to kill off 5 people who don't die in the books, by the way, so you're going to be completely surprised. Well, don't fucking tell me then! Don't tell me that 5 people are going to die.
So the thing that we started in the last episode with the 365Flicks podcast, fuck you, this episode goes to George R. Martin, are you saying?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Excellent choice. No, I know what you're saying, but is this not all an attempt to make it like separate from the books and the TV show, that they're trying to kind of glide it away from there. Because eventually they're going to run out of material because he's not writing the books as quick as they're making the shows anymore.
Well, I'm sure I read that he's struggling to write is it book 6 or book 7 or something that he's struggling to actually finish.
Is that because he's writing the show as well, or he's helping with the show?
Well, apparently he's not written any of the episodes. He was like writing 1 or 2 episodes of the season up till now, but he's not written any of the episodes of season 5.
Oh well.
So maybe that's him like sort of saying, I'm still here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it coming up. I think the one character, out of any character on the show that I want to see more of, I'm looking forward to some more Ramsay.
Yes.
He's...
Aye, definitely. Because he was made... that was the other thing. He wasn't Ramsay Snow anymore, he was Ramsay Bolton.
Yeah, he's been made like the full-on Bolton.
And he's a bastard in the game, by the way.
Is he?
In the Telltale thing.
I've only played half of the first episode. I never quite got to the end of it, but I was enjoying it.
Yeah, he's a right cunt in the game.
I imagine he is anyway. Just that's one of those characters that, like, every time I see him, I'm like, damn, I want to spend an episode with this guy. Like, I quite happily spend a series with him.
And so where did we leave Reek then? Had Reek gone back to him?
Yeah,
or had Reek left?
Reek's
him?
like his little bitch. Had he not sent Reek to where the sister and the dad is? He was sending them. I don't know.
Had he sent? Well, he sort of sent him. He sent him into a one of the strongholds.
Yeah.
So yeah. What the hell was his name before Reek? What was his name? Theon.
Oh, Theon Greyjoy. That's it.
Yeah. Tidy.
We'll get there in the end.
Nailed it.
You wouldn't think we watch it.
Had he left? So had he sent Reek away?
I think he told him about his mission. I can't remember if he'd sent him yet. I'm just assuming that he sent him anyway.
But yeah, I want to see more of Ramsay Snow, definitely, or Ramsay Bolton, definitely.
I want to see a hell of a lot more of him. I want him to be the guy at the very end of, like, when Game of Thrones comes to its end, I want him to be the guy sitting on the throne. Because
I want Arya.
Right, oh, fuck off. Right now, he is my favourite character, Ramsay. Like,
yeah, you know what? I would agree. I think he's a class character, but Arya Stark is bloody fantastic. I want her to be. I want her to be all. You know how she's going away to join the assassins and stuff.
Yeah.
I just want her to become a kick-ass.
Are we gonna get more of that guy? You remember the guy who was like, give me the 3 names and I'll kill the guy?
Yeah, he's like changed his face and stuff.
Is he coming back?
I'm assuming so.
I love that character. I thought that character was so cool.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's going to be there. I mean, because he was the one who gave her the coin, wasn't he? So you would assume so. So who do we think is going to get it? Who do you think is going to die in season 5 then?
I want Jon Snow to die.
You want Jon Snow to die? I don't think Jon Snow's going to die.
He's the only person I want to die.
You know what? I really haven't got a bloody clue.
I'm at the point now where... But you know what it's like. Game of Thrones finishes and then it goes away for ages and then it comes back. And normally in those first 2 episodes, you'll get like 20 new characters that you've never met. Or you have met, but you've only ever met them for 2 minutes. And now all of a sudden they're important as fuck.
You know, I could have done with more of the guy who got his head crushed in.
Oberyn was cool as fuck.
Yeah, I could have done with more of him.
I thought there was when it came to that big fight, I was looking at the mountain and I'm thinking, my god, this is going to be some fight. He's not coming out of this.
And then he started doing all Darth Maul stuff.
But at the same time, I was thinking, there's no way he's going to lose because he's such a cool ass character, and he's helping Tyrion, and we all love Tyrion.
Then he turned into a cocky cock.
He did turn into a cocky cock. But I did. I was sat there when he crushed his head, and I was just kind of like.
You muck a bloody worse. It still wasn't as bad as the Red Wedding for me. You know, you stab a pregnant lady in the stomach repeatedly. That's some fucking dark stuff.
I know they pretty much do whatever they want on the Game of Thrones. I know that's the way it seems to be, but I'm still surprised that the executives in the studio kind of was like, yeah, go ahead with that. I know it was in the books and it's part of the material, but that's some, like you say, that's some heavy, dark shit to be putting on TV.
But then, you know, like, that's HBO. They don't really give a flying fuck. So anyway, so what do we want to see from season 5 then? It's not the same as The Walking Dead, because because with The Walking Dead, you can kind of say, oh, this is going to happen.
Yeah,
and,
the Walking Dead follows like quite a structured, linear kind of thing. Game of Thrones is like...
With Game of Thrones, they could kill off Tyrion in the first episode and we wouldn't see it coming. I don't think they will, but they fucking could.
Well, they're kind of pretty much basing the show on Tyrion now. I mean, it's very much become that way. Have you seen that?
I don't know, like, I'm not sure, like, at all about that.
I think Tyrion's the be-all and end-all now.
I think it'd be a huge mistake if they killed off Tyrion.
But they're going to have to at some point.
I don't see it coming, but then, as we said, I didn't see them killing off Joffrey.
If they want to send the ratings through the roof, they kill Tyrion. Maybe they'll wait until they have a period of, like, oh, the ratings are falling, kill Tyrion. Whoa!
But you see, that's the good thing about Game of Thrones, is they don't centre it really about one particular character.
No, they don't. They're very good at that character development.
They've got so many different stories going on that we're talking about right now. And I've said this to you when we spoke about season 4 of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
That they could learn some stuff from Game of Thrones, is that they keep these different threads going. We don't forget what's happening with them. These characters maybe appear, like Khaleesi appears in an episode and then it's like 2 episodes later or something she appears again, but we're still kind of engaged in the character. Maybe Khaleesi is a bad example, but Arya for example, we probably, maybe like every other episode we would see Arya, but we still want to know what's going on with her.
No, you're right. They do really good. They do great work even at chopping and changing. They have kind of that story that is going to be the main story of the episode, but in the meantime we're going to go here, and because that's the main story of the episode, we'll maybe come to it 2-3 times, but everyone else we're going to see a little bit in peace. I know what you're saying. Spot on, Mike.
So yeah, when it comes to the 365 prediction of season 5, we have no fucking idea.
We have no idea. It's Game of Thrones. Why the fuck would we have an idea? Like I say, Jon Snow dies, I'm happy.
I really don't see that happening. But,
Jon Snow dies.
Characters to die. I don't know. I don't want Jon Snow to die. He's the hero.
I want Jon Snow to die.
Now that Sansa, before in series 4, I would have had Sansa die like that.
Mm-hmm.
I clicked my finger there. Just FYI. I would have had Sansa die at any time because she was a whiny bastard. But now that she's kind of strapped on a pair,
yeah.
When she was sort of in the final episode, when she was pretending to cry and saying, oh, she chucked herself out because she was all depressed. She chucked herself out the moon door or whatever it was fucking called. And then she sort of hugged the woman when she was pretending to cry, and she sort of looked up at Littlefinger.
Aye.
And you thought, oh, that's good. That's bloody good. I want Sansa to become Cersei.
I would be alright with Cersei becoming Cersei again, because that character at the start, like in the first couple of series, Cersei was like quite assertive and she was a bit of a woman with power. And to be fair, I think in that last series, that young lass who was married to Joffrey kind of started stealing her thunder.
I think she was. Well, I think Cersei was just kind of threatened in that. But then you've got Tommen, who is now the king. She is now kind of going to be marrying Tommen. Yeah. And Cersei's got to marry the gay guy, her brother, who is all gay in that. So she's not happy about that. But then, like I said before, her and Jaime are kind of. We're fucking each other. We're not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
So we don't know what's going to happen there because Tywin's not there anymore.
Plus, as well, I think we're forgetting.
No, don't do that. Don't fuck your brother, kind of thing. So
we're kind of forgetting as well that the death of Tywin, we haven't seen the effects of that yet, but it's gonna throw a lot of shit at the fan. Like,
well, yeah. So who's presumably Jaime is now the head of House of Lannister. So,
but I don't think he can be though, can he? Because he's a member of the King's Guard.
Yeah, kind of. Because he'd sort of said go back to Casterly Rock. Is that the name of it? And be in charge and stuff.
There's the thing about being in the King's Guard. I'm sure he can't own land or some shit like that.
Right.
He can't be the head of something. I don't know. I don't read the books. I'm not into the mythology. Fucking what's his name? is well above my head. So 365, we're looking forward to it's April 13th.
April 13th,
Yeah,
I think.
I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long time. You know, it seems to have been a lot longer a gap than it is for any other program I watch.
Just because it's so damn good.
Exactly.
You know, I had it on my Sky Planner for a good 9 months, and I didn't watch it, and didn't watch it, and didn't watch it, and then I started watching it again, and it was about 5 minutes into the first episode. It was just, oh, this is so fucking good, this show. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one coming back. So that's Game of Thrones.
That's Game of Thrones.
I've used this technique in many siege situations. It's pure torture. This will definitely drive them out.
You're the expert.
We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind. Cause your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends.
Good boy, Billy, good boy.
Romulus,
you pop off with a support geek.
In the last episode, episode 8, I started a new section. I still don't have a name for this section, by the way. We'll just call it the review. And
That's fine.
I set you a challenge to watch an Oscar-nominated movie.
Oscar-nominated movie.
Which came out back in 1996. That movie was Biodome.
Biodome.
Pauly Shore and Stephen Baldwin. So what were your first thoughts of this movie?
First of all, I'd like to say a big fuck you for making me watch the movie.
Now, the whole point of this section is so that I can broaden your horizon.
You know what? I think my horizon was pretty broad without watching that.
Oh, this movie broadens.
Let's talk about the movie.
This movie broadens
Let's talk
horizons.
about the movie. So, right. So the movie. Okay, so it's called Biodome. It's about two blokes. I can't remember their name. Let's just call them Fake Bill and Ted.
Yep, Fake Bill and Ted's fine by me.
So the movie starts where we've got Fake Bill hitting Fake Ted in the face with a boot to get out of hanging out with the girlfriends who are going out for a green planet saving thing. This is very much a theme of the movie where it's like, let's recycle, let's be good to the planet, which I'm fine with. I recycle my cans of Carlsberg. So that's the premise of the movie. So we start off with these two unimaginable arseholes. So they're doing their thing, they're living their lives, and then we cut to a new project, which is called, I guess, Biodome.
It's a biodome.
Maybe? Yeah. Which is basically the planet is fucked. The planet is fucked.
Which we know.
Pollution everywhere.
We know this.
And all that. There's pollution everywhere. And all that kind of thing. So a billionaire has come up with a plan of creating a project which is going to be cut off from the world for a whole year and see how they get on, basically. See if they fuck it up, I guess. They're going to be locked in with no way out, which we'll come to in a second, and see how they get on. So that's the premise of the thing. Whereas basically these two idiots managed to sneak in to the biodome and ruin all the plans. So that's the movie. So yeah, basically, well, first of all, sort of the main scientist is the asshole reporter from the Die Hard movies.
Yes, he is.
Which I noticed right away, and fair play. That was just a sort of mentioning point.
Which there are a few in this movie.
Yeah. So the just the warning. There's probably going to be swearing ahead. Right. So they sneak into the biodome, and they start acting like themselves. Right, where do I start? I really don't know where to start with this. It's just so fucking bad. It's so bad. This movie is so bad. First of all, the movie is... right, I don't know how many of our listeners have ever been to Epcot Center in Orlando, Florida. It's part of Disney.
Right.
But it's so fucking clearly filmed there. The biodome bits are so clearly filmed there. It's unbelievable. That's just by the by. I've been there. I like Epcot, and that annoyed me because that was there. The first thing I noticed was the bits where they started their funny scenes, where they were doing something funny. You can tell that, I italicized the funny because it wasn't really funny. Whereas they started doing funny music, like in porn where they do porny music. When they started doing the porny stuff, when they're doing their funny bits, they play funny music over it.
Well,
just to let us know that you're supposed to laugh at this bit, Christopher. Laugh now. No.
What you have to remember though, Chris, this movie came out in 1996, right? It was when MTV.
People were funny in 1996. I was very funny in 1996.
MTV was kind of at its absolute height. Like it'd been not long came out, and it was at its peak. It's pure dog shit now. Like MTV is just. It's just crap now. But back then, in the mid to late 90s, they were making movies left, right, and centre. Like movies like Joe's Apartment, movies like Biodome, Airheads, and they all had the same common theme of like, let's just put the fucking coolest music that is out there right now. You are completely right.
But it wasn't cool. It was like, it was the comedy equivalent of bow chicka bow wow. That's whenever they started their bits within the Biodome. Whenever they started a bit where they were going to be doing like a set piece, they started this bow chicka bow wow kind of funny music over it, just to let us know, because we're morons, the viewers, we're fucking morons. We have to know that this is gonna be funny, but it fucking wasn't funny.
Because that's how MTV movies work.
Well, don't get me to watch it then.
I had to get you to watch this because I knew you hadn't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just ask a quick question in the spirit of pure honesty? Have you ever seen a Pauly Shore movie before this one?
No.
Excellent. As an introduction to the man that is Pauly Shore, Biodome is as good as it gets.
Right, okay. Well, right. Yeah, okay, moving on then. Moving on.
So you weren't a big fan of all the whistle? Oh, what's up, buddy?
The two main characters then, I've basically, pardon me, explained the premise of the movie. They go in and they start acting like a really, really shit version of Men Behaving Badly.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Yep. The two main characters, played by your man Pauly Shore and one of the Baldwins. Which fucking Baldwin is it?
It's Stephen Baldwin.
Stephen Baldwin. They are two of the most awful, hideous, self-centered, disgusting, repulsive characters I've ever seen in a movie.
That's fair to say. That's a fair comment. I do tend to think, though, Pauly Shore is just like that in real life.
Pauly Shore was meant... Right, Pauly Shore was meant to be a womanizer and, all about the ladies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy in the movie was fucking camp as Christmas. He would have made Dale Winton seem like fucking Bruce Willis in Die Hard. So I don't know what the fuck was going on there.
Are you saying Dale Winton is not like Bruce Willis in Die Hard?
Of course he fucking is. But, I'm no lumberjack, but Jesus Christ. So yeah, that was the first thing. But, I mentioned Men Behaving Badly, and I mentioned Bill and even Dexter's growling at this when I'm speaking about it.
You didn't make the dog watch it, did you?
Oh, the dog watched it. Yeah, so I mentioned Men Behaving Badly, and I mentioned Bill and Ted. At least these two movies, at least like Bill and Ted and the TV show Men Behaving Badly, had a bit of background, I guess, to the characters where, like say with Bill and Ted, you kind of thought they're not really an asshole.
Oh no, these two guys, they are assholes.
They're fucking hideous characters.
They just basically...
And, it's only, so they're in the thing, they're in the Biodome with Kylie and the guy from Die Hard. And by the way, Kylie, bless her, is as wooden as a fucking box of fucking MDF. And So they're in the fucking biodome with these people and all that, and then, you know, they've got the funny music in the background when they start tearing shit up and all that, and it's not funny. It's not funny at all. At one point, this is quite late on in the movie, when another movie would have had them learning stuff by now, and a bit of character development, and said, oh, well, we're cunts really, we should really change, no? But not this movie, not this fucking movie, Kev. These people bloody break in to the store cupboard and they fucking start eating all the What's-Its or whatever and all that. They fucking eat all their stuff. And then about 10 minutes later, they break out of this. They break out of this.
Yeah.
You done?
Yeah. They break out.
So then they I just want to point out for the listeners right now that Kev is actually crying.
Right.
It'd be fine.
You point out.
So then they break out of this multi-billion whatever sealed, 100% sealed.
There's a fucking back door, isn't there?
Environment with a window with a fucking Yale lock on it. So they break out and they meet up with the girlfriends. Although, to be fair, one of them is Bonnie from Family Guy.
Yeah.
Which is just, you know, a bit mentioned. And there is also points for a Tenacious D cameo.
Yeah, I didn't actually realise this. I was doing like a look at the wiki page and all that. That is the first time Kyle Gass and Jack Black ever appeared in anything together as Tenacious D.
Yeah. So I will give the movie points for that.
MTV do cool shit like that, apparently.
Apparently so, yeah. That's about it. So they're trying. Their girlfriends are getting in with a bunch of other hippies, doing all green stuff, not saving the whales.
It is massive on the green, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's trying to do a message. It's trying to give us a message.
It's trying.
But you have to give us better characters than that, because all I thought was, fuck off my screen. I didn't think I'm going to recycle more. So yeah, the girlfriends are getting in with a group of collegey people who are all green and stuff. So they decide, in all their repulsiveness, that the big way to win over their girlfriends is to let people in through the Yale lock, because it's still open
through the back door.
They've got a computer system that tells people, that tells the media that, you know, that the air or whatever is 100% pure and everything, but they can't tell it there's a fucking Yale lock open.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they decide that the best way to impress the girlfriend is to let people in and have a big party in the biodome.
As you do.
So they let everybody in, they have a big fuck off party, and again they so everybody wrecks the place and everything. The girlfriends fuck off and say, oh, you know, you're wrong and truly. Yeah. So they seal the place, they lock the Yale lock, which is partly that's it sealed now. That's it sealed. So everything's okay again. They decide that they need to clean the place up. They start cleaning the place up as if it's a metaphor for Earth itself.
Yes. See, you got the gist of the movie. You got the message.
Yeah, I've got the message. Yep. So yeah. So they decide to clean the place up. Everything's all right in the end. They get out on the mission of the being 100% pure by 365 days. Mission accomplished and all that, just at the last second, by the way, because the guy from Die Hard decides he doesn't like it anymore, so he wants to blow it up and stuff, just to add a bit of drama, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yep. So they foil his plots, the swine.
The scamp.
And he would have gotten away from it if it wasn't for those pesky kids. And so yeah, that's about it.
So you enjoyed Biodome then?
Right. Okay, so positives. So as I said, you know, it gets props for the Tenacious D cameo. It gets props for its message.
All right.
You know, save the Earth and all that. Have to say, although I hated the characters, the chemistry between the two leads was brilliant. You could tell that they were having a fucking ball. I wasn't having a ball, but they were. And, you know, despite all the bow chicka bow wow music telling me to have a ball and have a laugh, I wasn't. So that failed miserably, but they were having a good time, so fair play. Done.
Now, I wanted you to watch that because it's all part of this new section that we're trying to do. We're just going to try and introduce each other to movies that we may not otherwise watch. Basically, I wanted to piss you off, so I chose Biodome.
Nice.
You know, because that's what we do.
That's what we do.
And at the same time, I did think to myself, all right, I'm making him watch it. I'm going to watch it myself because I watched it all those years ago, and I remember it being funny as shit. I actually remember it being really good.
Really?
And I thought I'm going to rewatch it myself and see if it stood the test of time. And my God, it didn't. Like, no. I'm on the same page as you. Like, I sat there watching it, and the whole time I'm like, oh, just turn this off.
Hi.
But it was like, yeah, just from the word go, I was like, this is what passed as a movie back in 1996. Like,
but you know, this is 1996. You know, like 4 years early, we had Jurassic Park and
well, exactly,
Terminator 2 and all that.
Groundbreaking movies. And let's be honest, MTV are not making groundbreaking movies ever.
Well, no, it's like WWE films. You know, you're not getting a classic.
Yeah. So I suppose the question that I want to pose to you after making you watch Biodome, and you obviously enjoyed it very, very much, is would you recommend this movie?
Not to my worst fucking enemy. Would I? No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
So in the spirit of fair play, I gave this to you as your challenge, your homework. So in the spirit of fair play, do you have a movie that you would like?
I do.
Obviously, we don't have Ash here tonight, so we don't get his kind of input on it, which is a shame. But do you have a movie?
I do. Right. Okay. So I challenge you to watch. It's a movie from 2001. So it's more up to date than the one that you got me to watch. It's a movie that's got Whoopi Goldberg in it.
Oh my Christ.
And Brecken Meyer. And it was directed by Jerry Zucker. And the movie is called Rat Race.
Oh God.
So that's the movie I want you to watch.
I haven't watched that one, but I do know which one you're on about, and that wasn't on my bucket list. I'll watch that before the next podcast, which is going to be episode 10, which we have work in progress on. And that's pretty much it for this episode 9 of the 365Flicks podcast. And I hope everybody comes back again for episode 10. We have some big episode 10. We're kind of bigging this up tonight, but to be fair, we have no idea what we're doing. I suppose I will be giving a review of Rat Race, which could go. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching that. I know it's a semi remake of Mad World. I know that much. Wacky Races is awesome. Oh my God. Right, okay, so on that note, we're gonna end this there. So that's been it for on that bombshell. So come back for episode 10.
You are now leading the world of Musings of a Geek podcast network. Stay geeky, my friends.